Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports as Ulster have beaten the Sharks 31 points 24 down in Durban, and the Ulster pack just completely outclassing a Sharks pack which just didn't really pitch up, unfortunately. And I think at the end of the day, when you've got that sort of dominance, the Ulster backline, which I think was solid but didn't really need to do much, to be honest. And the brilliant game management of John Cooney as well, a major feature in that Ulster victory. On the other hand, I just think the kicking game from the Sharks really letting themselves down, as well as just a couple of really sort of ordinary aspects of the game. The breakdown. They just didn't really pitch up, and frustrating for the Sharks side, who I believe had what they needed to beat Ulster and had stages of the game where they felt they could have really kicked on. But credit to Ulster, who never panicked despite going behind twice, and just sort of steadily stuck to their processes, used the set piece to their advantage, used the kicking game to their advantage. And just got the job done. But before we look at the stats and stuff like that, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. In terms of breakdown of where things went wrong, it was actually the perfect start, as Grant Williams in the first minute went on a bit of sniping run straight through, and he dove over for a try. Curtin Bosch missing the conversion. However, Ulster decided to gone to the board in the 18th minute through a penalty through the boot of John Cooney. Before Tom Stewart went over for his first try, coming off the bench, the reserve hooker, scoring one of two tries. His first try in the 24th minute. Cooney adding the extras to make it 5 points to 10. However, the Sharks hit back through Thacker Abrahams in the 29th minute, and Curtin Bosch getting the conversion this time, so to take the lead back once again. But just 2 minutes later, once again, a mistake from the kickoff, a really poor kick from Grant Williams, which unfortunately became a bit of a feature in his game. His kicking game today really did let him down. And then a penalty conceded by Dan Jooste, which allowed Ulster to set up a line out about 10 to 15 meters out, and that Ronnie Moore once again operating. Tom Stewart going over his second, John Cooney not making a mistake of the tee. And then you're sitting there 12-17 go at halftime thinking, right, well, things are not all lost here for the Sharks. They can still get something out of this game, but they've got to pitch up and really play well early in the second half. The opposite kind of happened, didn't it? And Stuart Moore went over in the 43rd minute, and that was a horrible mistake from Grant Williams. At the base of the ruck, brought the ball back with his boot, and then sort of picked it up, put it back down, and Stuart Moore then noticed this, ran in and dived onto the ball, literally at the base of the Sharks ruck, just going, well, thanks, I'll take the try, and it stood. And all of a sudden, at 12.17, you're thinking you're still in this game. It very quickly becomes 12.24. You're now 12 points behind. Curtin Bosch then, was guilty of being quite sloppy, taking too long, with one of his penalties and hooking it in the 46th minute. But a lifeline was thrown to them as Instuka Mtluna went over in the 51st minute, Curtin Bosch nailing the conversion. But almost as was the case, every single time the Sharks, it was looked like they were staging a comeback, or looked like they were, on the up. Ulster did very well, and they just sort of replied in their own fashion. Harry Sheridan going over with a very nice try in 57, just good brute strength, which was kind of the theme of the game. John Cooney adding the extras there. Buddha Chamberlain, once again, a bit of hope being thrown out there. He went to score a try, some very nice slick handling to create a 3-on-1 situation. Buddha Chamberlain, the one eventually going over. Curtin Bosch missing the conversion once again. So, look, Curtin Bosch will know that he missed, about 7 points out there, which if he nailed, would have been a drawn game. So, I think, the boot of John Cooney was the difference in the end. But I think the Sharks never really pitched up, really. And overall, they had enough possession to do things, and they scored 4 tries. But just the conversions were the difference. So if we look at the stats, overall possession was 55% for the Sharks and 52% territory. Both teams scoring 4 tries, but 2 conversions for the Sharks, 4 for Ulster, as well as that penalty. Sharks ran more meters, beat more defenders, had more clean breaks, had more gain line carries, but the turnovers, there's a turnover statistic that Sharks can see at 16 turnovers, and that is dreadful. You can't be doing that. And if you look at the tackles made as well, sloppy, very, very sloppy. They were only asked to make 71 tackles, and they completed 48. That's a 68% tackle success rate. You cannot win matches with a 68% tackle success rate. On the other hand, Ulster were asked to make 149 tackles, missed 28. That's an 81% tackle success rate. A goal kick success rate 100% versus 40% is a big factor. Lineouts for the Sharks were actually very good. Ulster, lost a couple of lineouts, but that Ronnie Moore theirs was very functional. The scrums, we didn't actually have that many scrums. I think we only had 5 in the end. And 2 scrum penalty early on for each team, but then after that, not too much going on at the scrums. Penalty conceded. Actually, Ulster conceded more penalties than the Sharks, but the Sharks just never really made them pay for it. In terms of some individual performances, a big shout out to Dwayne Vermeulen, who I thought was immense. 2 carries, 6 tackles, none missed, but 2 turnovers, one importantly, a defender beat and an offload. I thought he played really well for the 72 minutes he was on. For the Sharks, I was really impressed with Jans van Rensburg. He gained 42 meters, beating 8 defenders, 1 offload, 1 clean break, 4 tackles, 2 missed. But I thought that he was really industrious every single time he had ball in hand. Other players who I thought worked pretty hard. Dylan Richardson carried a lot, 6 carries, 11 tackles. I thought that Vincent Tuka had some nice moments, but still not playing quite at his best. I thought Tigo Zanocha was very Dutch when he came on. 4 carries for him. Looked very busy as well. Curran Bosch, I think in general, player kicking just wasn't good enough from both Curran Bosch as well as Grant Williams. But yeah, let me know what you thought about the game down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Stephen. I'll chat to you soon.